Hello everybody and welcome to qualifying for the 18th round of the NASCAR Cup season and the first of the in-season challenge. It's the Quaker State 400. Atlanta goes into the night. While qualifying is about to get underway, the first car should have been rolling at 5 past the hour. However, there is a lightning hold, so we are now going to get underway at half past the hour for qualifying here for the Cup Series for Xfinity. Take you away later on. Let's cross over to our colleagues trackside for all of the action at PRN, the Performance Racing Network.
And, of course, it is a race within the race. Right now, let's go down to Heather.
And now, right now, I'm in the garage area. We did have that lightning hold during Xfinity qualifying, so they gave the Cup team some extra time to get their adjustments done because under a lightning hold, nobody can work at that moment. So mostly everybody's done. I do see the 5 making some final adjustments, but here with Rudy Fugel now, crew chief of the 24, you and your driver have 2 wins at this racetrack on this new configuration. How are you feeling about the car as you've unloaded on the trailer? Do you think you're going to have something for him without knowing what you have since you don't have practice?
Yeah, it's always tough at these speedways, especially here in Atlanta where it's kind of a hybrid speedway, mile and a half. So handling will definitely play a factor tomorrow night, and I think it'll play a little bit of a factor today in qualifying. So without practice, you never know. Track grip is way different. It's really, really hot today, so it'll be exciting to see who can easily hold it wide open in qualifying and where all that stacks up. But I feel really good about our Exalta Chevy for tomorrow. We just want to get through today with a good pit pick, decent qualifying position, get a good pit pick, and go race tomorrow.
You mentioned the track grip. Now, I know you guys haven't been out there yet, but it's been 3 years since it's been repaved. What changes have you seen thus far in the racetrack?
Yeah, a lot of it's the color. The color of it is lightening up from these hot summers. It's taken. I'm sure it's taken a lot of the oil out of the asphalt, and it'll eventually be back to the way it was, where it's going to be a lot of grip out of it. But right now, with the Super Speedway package, we can still, run a lot of throttle. We have a lot of downforce in the car, but handling is a big part. You can't just run wide open in the pack. If you're the leader, you can run wide open, but if you're in the pack, the past cars, you got to be able to turn down underneath people, carry a run in and off, and it'll be pivotal. You'll see guys go from mid-pack to forward, and that's what we want to do.
All right, well, best of luck to you once we do roll out and you guys get to qualify in a few.
Thank you.
Andrew Curlin?
All right, yeah, well, Josh Berry, he led 56 laps here in Atlanta in February. So what'd you learn from that, leading laps out front, and how can you replicate that tomorrow night?
Yeah, it was a big confidence boost for our team. Obviously, the Wood Brothers and Team Penske cars have been really strong here. So our car was really strong, handled well. Obviously wanted to take a lot from that race and try to apply it to tomorrow night's race. And, yeah, it gave us a lot of good film to watch this week with myself and Miles and Jason, our spotter, and try to look at the things we did good, look at some of the opportunities we missed, how we can improve our communication and do things a little bit better, and hopefully we'll find ourselves in the same spot.
You and I are both standing inside right now, which is nice. The AC is certainly kicking in, but we got to go outside. You got to qualify the car under the hot sun. What's that going to be like track temperature-wise?
Yeah, I don't think it'll be too different. I mean, obviously we'll pay attention to the first handful of cars to go to make sure everything's the same, but I feel like we'll still have enough grip to go wide open. I don't know how the speed of the car, with it being hotter, might be a little slower than what we had, but the race I feel like will definitely look different with the hotter temperatures. Handling's just going to be more of a thing. Track position is going to be a little bit more important, right, just with the cars having less grip.
You mentioned, Wood Brothers, Team Penske, the alliance that goes on there. How important is a good dancing partner when it comes to, tackling the high banks here at Echo Park Speedway?
Yeah, no, it's definitely nice to be around your teammates, and I feel like we do a really good job of communicating that, and I've learned a lot from them already in the first couple races that we've had, and we just want to keep applying that, and really the simple goal is to just keep as many of our cars up front to give ourselves the best opportunity at the end, and that's what we're looking to do tomorrow night.
That's Josh Berry. He's got his fire suit on. He's going to make his way out to pit road because we're going to be qualifying here in a little bit.
Again, Josh Berry already in the playoff. The Wood Brothers getting a win early on in the season at Las Vegas. And I think he's been one of the feel-good stories this season. He's had a number of good runs. He wrecked leading the pack at Texas. Certainly a learning opportunity there for Josh Berry. But that team, again, could be a little more trouble in the playoffs than maybe some people think.
You know, the good thing about Josh Berry, when he got that win at Las Vegas Motor Speedway, I would say if you look at the fandom in our sport, maybe about half of them thought, okay, wow, here's a wild card winner, someone from behind the cut line going to victory lane. They quickly showed week after week they have speed. Yeah, he fell back in the standings a little bit to the upper teens, but guess what? He's raced his way back in after Pocono. He's back up in the top 16, has proven speed. And when you talk about this Echo Park Speedway under this current configuration, this is now the 8th race weekend with the Gen 7 car and the 28 degrees of banking here. Any one of those cars that come out of the Team Penske shop in Mooresville, North Carolina, them being an affiliate at Wood Brothers Racing, they go to the top. Ryan Blaney literally has finished top 10 6 of 7 races. The next driver in points, minus 70 some odd, is his teammate Austin Cindric, and then Joey Logano's right there with 2 wins.
Again, Ford has kind of ruled the roost when it comes to qualifying here for sure. 7 out of the top 10 qualifiers both races last year, 9 out of 10 earlier this season back in February. So if you buckle up in a Ford here at Atlanta Motor Speedway, you got a chance. We'll take a break, come right back to Echo Park Speedway.
What do you think about the new trade-in?
Atlanta Motor Speedway?
Yep, traded her in. Welcome to the Echo Park Speedway.
You traded in the whole track.
Echo Park has the best trade-in value in America, Kyle. I couldn't pass it up.
She does look good in green.
Celebrate this historic moment with Echo Park's Fast Track Cash Days. Get up to $2,000 more than the competition for your trade, plus an extra $250 through July 12th. Visit EchoPark.com for details. Echo Park, rated America's #1 used car dealer.
Hey folks, it's Doug Rice. Did you know you can take PRN with you anywhere? By downloading the PRN mobile app, you can listen to our live races just about any place on the planet, and you will not miss a second of the action. Plus, you can hear our shows like the fantastic editions of Fast Talk, plus Brett McMillan on the Pit Reporters and Mark Garrow with Garage Pass. Get all the latest racing information right at your fingertips with the PRN mobile app, available at the Apple App Store and on Google Play.
In Las Vegas, pedal to the metal is all we know, on or off the racetrack. Whether you're there for NASCAR, live music, incredible restaurants, or world-class entertainment, Vegas is the town that never slows down. With so many ways to play and so much to explore, Las Vegas encourages you to go all out. Head to visitlasvegas.com for more. From Echo Park Speedway in Atlanta, this is PRN, the Performance Racing Network.
Time to pull down on the handle and start rolling them here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway.
The green flag flies at the Atlanta Motor Speedway.
We're about to contest the Coca-Cola 600. We're racing at Texas Motor Speedway.
Now Keselowski goes way up the racetrack.
Here comes Harrison Burton. He rockets to the lead.
Trouble. Car goes around. It's Chris Buescher.
Joey Logano battles to the outside. They come back to the start-finish line.
Bubba Wallace looks inside. And now here's Byron. Takes a quick left to block him. They head back to 1.
Here goes Ross Chastain. He's going to the bottom of the racetrack.
Bubba goes up. Blaney hits the outside wall off of turn 2.
Can Christopher Bell do anything with him? He gets down to the bottom of the racetrack.
Briscoe dives to the bottom of the racetrack, side by side. They get loose. They spin. Now Tyler Reddick does the 360. So does Briscoe.
Heading into turn number 7 as he wraps it around. The crowd is cheering for Daniel Suarez here on this final lap.
Allmendinger gets into Alex Bowman. Ross Chastain back out to the front for the final time.
This is PRN.
Welcome back to Echo Park Speedway here in Atlanta, Georgia, where we're getting set to qualify for the Quaker State 400. Cars are rolling out onto pit road. Some of the cars in the field, we've got the Red Bull paint scheme. Connor Zilich is running the number 87. Corey LaJoy in this race, driving the 01, a white and orange Schluter Systems car for Rick Ware Racing. BJ McLeod is in the field. We can see a couple of the 2311 paint schemes, Mark, that look a little bit different. We've got an upper deck Superman paint scheme on Tyler Reddick's car. Treetop is the sponsor with a green and white car with red numbers for Riley Herbst. And what a colorful field that we have here. These cars are going to look great under the lights. In fact, they're now rolling out the Wendy's car of Ross Chastain, who will join us here at 7 o'clock Eastern time for the coverage of the Xfinity Focus Health 250.
Since that's just around dinner time, you should bring a bag of Wendy's burgers.
Frosty?
Frosty, even better. Yeah, I like that. That'll melt, though. He won't get that here before it's soup.
So. I don't know. He's fast.
He's fast. Let's go down to Heather DeVoe.
Here now with Ryan Preece, and him and I, we were just talking about road trips on our favorite Netflix shows. So for our listeners out there, what would you recommend to them to watch right now?
Mine has to be the waterfront. It was my wife and I were sitting there, and we watched 4 straight hours one night when we intended on going to bed at 8:30, and next thing I know, it was about 1 in the morning. So that one's really got my attention.
The way we got to this, fans, is that we were sitting here, and he was on his phone, and I asked him what he was watching, and he said, I'm just kind of bored right now, but we're in Atlanta. This place is not boring by any means, and you're about to go out and lay down one lap without having any practice or being on track. So what kind of commitment level are we going to see from you? Are you going to go wide open or play it a little conservative?
Oh, no, you're going to go wide open. I think, for us, it's about coming up to speed and going all the way up against the fence, and this is one of those qualifying trims when you're sitting on – you're just kind of all over the place, and you really don't know how it's going to react. So for me, I'm just going to hope that all the speed's there and let her rip and try to lay it on the pole. But certainly love coming out here to Atlanta, and we're racing in Danny Solomon's memory, the owner of Solomon Plumbing, who passed away a couple months ago. So this is going to be a big weekend for us to try and win for him.
Well, Ryan Preece is going to try to kick things off on the right foot, but him and his teammates, they all finished in the top 10 last week, so good momentum going for RFK right now, Andrew.
Yeah, Heather, we were talking with Michael McDowell. I love the question about favorite movie, TV show to watch, and Michael said it was a gigantic waste of time. So why do you think that's the case?
It's not like I don't have a favorite movie. It's just you're talking about binging, TV series and things like that. I can't do it. I got 5 kids in pretty limited time, and there's lots of weeds to pull and things to pick up and things to fix around the house. I mean, I just couldn't imagine sitting there and, for more than 30 minutes and watching it for hours and hours and hours. I'm just not wired that way.
Let's talk about the racing here at Echo Park Speedway. You've won both poles here in 2024, so you know how to put a fast lap down. How can you replicate that today?
I think that qualifying last year, what we had going on, was pretty special. We kind of knew it, and it's hard to duplicate that. But, getting the victory lane is what really matters. And so, for us, we have a good mindset of what we need in our car for balance and what we think we need for downforce. Obviously it's going to be a hot weekend. And so, there's going to be cars that have a little bit more speed today, and there'll be some cars that have a little bit more downforce built in and, more handling for tomorrow. And then the sun will go down and track will cool off, and you'll wish you had one or the other. So, it's pretty tricky. This is I feel like these conditions in particular are warmer and less grip than we've had. So it'll be interesting to see who hits it right.
You talk about having to adjust to the conditions. So where do you think that's going to take you tomorrow? You think the cars are going to trend tighter, looser?
Well, I think yes, all the above. I think balance-wise, you can get on either side. It's pretty easy to do with this particular next-gen car at super speedways in particular. So more than anything, it's just the total overall grip that you lose and how much time you're out of the throttle when you're in the draft. I mean, I'm sure when you're out front, new tires, no big deal. But, if you're 10th in the pack and you have big runs, what your car does in those different scenarios, whether it's the bottom, the middle, the top, they're always moving around. It's what makes this race actually really fun is you can take momentum and you can make momentum. But tomorrow I feel like handling will be at a premium because of the hotter conditions.
I heard the word fun right there. Michael McDowell, that's what makes this race fun is finding the handling when you can find it.
We talked earlier about the in-season tournament. I think Michael McDowell's one of my sleepers. He's seeded 11th. He takes on 22nd ranked A.J. Allmendinger here at Echo Park Speedway. And then with road races at Chicago and Sonoma back-to-back, we all know what kind of road racer he is. He gets past this race. Michael McDowell may get deep into this in-season tournament.
That whole quadrant in the bracket gets very interesting. And I see Michael McDowell and A.J. Allmendinger. Also part of that, the winner of Michael McDowell, A.J. Allmendinger, will have to race the winner of Ty Gibbs, Justin Haley. Ty Gibbs, another driver with a ton of speed on road courses. You got to execute, as we know that. Then we go below that in the bracket. You have Zane Smith. He won road course races in the Truck Series. You have Austin Cindric, who is a heck of a road racer. And you have Chris Buescher and Todd Gilliland. Both of those guys are fast at turning left and right. That whole quadrant of the bracket, it almost becomes, you look at it and say you can make a case for any one of those drivers just about who could advance to the next round in Chicago, the next round in Sonoma, and next round in Dover.
Of course, Dover, and then it all wraps up at Indy. Again, you talked about 32 drivers. They are broken apart in 4 groups of 8 in the top seeds. Denny Hamlin, the number 1 seed. Chase Briscoe is the top of the other bracket as the 2nd seed. The 3rd seed is Chris Buescher, and then Christopher Bell is the 4th seed. And again, when you look down through there, like in this race, you have Alex Bowman against Joey Logano. I think that'll be a fascinating matchup. Kyle Larson against Tyler Reddick. Another heavyweight fight right there in the bracket.
Yeah, the way they came up with the seeding had nothing to do with point standings whatsoever. It had to do with their best finish over the last 3 races, which would have been Mexico, Michigan, and Pocono. And if you're wondering, well, why is Shane Van Gisbergen not a top seed? He won Mexico. He was outside of the top 32 in standings when they locked it in for the 32 drivers who would be a part of the bracket. So he doesn't get to play for $1 million in the bracket challenge.
And they're all breathing a sigh of relief with Chicago and Sonoma coming up.
Very, very true. Well, we've got cars that are lining up on pit road. They're pushing the last few out there. I see Austin Cindric's nice, bright Quaker State Menards Ford coming out there. You got Ryan Priest coming out there. We just talked to him with his Solomon Plumbing car. And we'll have qualifying kicking off here in just under 15 minutes from Echo Park Speedway in Atlanta.
At Hunt Brothers Pizza, you can choose from 10 toppings at no extra charge. In a hurry, call ahead to place your order or grab a hunk of pizza on the go. Find your nearest location at huntbrotherspizza.com and follow me, Joey Logano, all season long.
By downloading the free PRN mobile app, you can listen to all of our live race broadcasts anywhere. You'll also have easy access to all of our award-winning studio shows. Get all the latest racing information at your fingertips with the PRN mobile app.
Welcome to the land of the free, where we pledge allegiance to the flag, salute racing's rich history, and raise a drink to the new gladiators who dare take on the last great Coliseum. The Bass Pro Shops Night Race NASCAR Playoff Weekend returns to Bristol Motor Speedway September 11th through the 13th. Get a weekend package and a camping spot and make it a weekend to remember. It's not just a night race, it's Bristol, baby.
Feel like you're in the driver's seat and never miss a second of the race action with Racing Electronics. Listen in on uncensored audio from every team in the race. See them in the vendor area to purchase yours today or learn more at racingelectronics.com. From Echo Park Speedway, this is PRN, the Performance Racing Network.
Hi, it's PRN's Brad Gilley. Did you know you can take PRN with you anywhere? That's right. By downloading the PRN mobile app, you can listen to our live race broadcast from anywhere. Make sure you don't miss a second of the action from the track. Download today for station listings and on-demand access to your favorite studio shows like Fast Talk, The Pit Reporters, or Garage Pass. Get all the latest racing information at your fingertips with the PRN mobile app. Available in the Apple App Store and on Google Play.
Hey, I'm Corley Joy for Speedway Children's Charities. The mission for Speedway Children's Charities has remained true since its founding almost 40 years ago, to care for children in educational, financial, social, and medical needs in order to help them lead happy and productive lives. So many children have benefited from our group in the past, but we need your help now more than ever. There's so much we can do when we all join together, so let's start today. Visit speedwaycharities.org to learn more. I thank you in advance for your help.
Back here at Echo Park Speedway, qualifying for the Quaker State 400 available at Walmart. About to be underway. Chris Buescher is rocking the bucket hat, and he's looking good. So how are we feeling before qualifying?
Yeah, we're having a lot of fun with this Cinnamon Toast Crunch group. Man, it's been a good time. So, yeah, we're getting ready to take this Kroger Ford Mustang and try and put it on the front row. But ultimately, a little late getting started here with a little bit of weather, right? So down to one round, so one lap to get it done. We'll see how it all plays out. But ultimately, I think the most important thing is to make sure we have a race car that's quick tomorrow, but handles very well. And I think that's what's going to set you up for a win.
This is a wild card race, always a risk of a new winner. You're currently 38 points above the cut line. So how safe do you feel about the playoff situation with a handful of races to go before we start the playoffs?
Yeah, we don't. You know it from point side. It's not my thing, the points race. Don't like to feel like you don't put in your max effort when you get back on your heels. So for us, we've talked about it since the beginning of the year. We feel like it's a must-win situation. It's been too close year after year. We've been on the good side and the bad side of that, and I think that I can confidently say that we can go out here and win a race. And so for us, it's not thinking so much about the points and the cushion we have, but how do we win and make sure that we put ourselves in the playoffs.
Well, Heather, you heard it from Chris Buescher there. He's in a must-win situation, already with a handful of races left to go to the playoffs.
And making his fourth start this season is Corey LaJoie, but he has had some extra seat time lately, just in a different way. You were on the Amazon Prime broadcast the last 5 races. What did that perspective do for you on what you can apply now to these race cars that maybe you didn't think about?
Yeah, that's a great question. That's the second best seat in the house, right? The first best seat is behind the wheel of this Ford Mustang, but I learned that when I was doing it full-time, I've done it full-time for 8 or 9 years, I took it too serious because even the people that are watching the race, whether they're on TV or fans, nobody really knows how your race is going. There's a small number of guys on your team, obviously, that know the nuances of the race, but, the race car is a very lonely place. When it feels like when your day's not going well, you feel like everybody's watching you. When really and truly they don't. They don't really even care. So I'm going to just try to have fun because that's something I never really had in my Cup career because I was always trying for more, trying to get myself in a better position. So that's what these last couple weeks, Daytona 500 was a blast. Atlanta here earlier in the year was a blast right before we got crashed. So we just need to get this thing up in the mix, and that starts right here when we rifle off our Q lap.
You talked about having fun. You seem pretty relaxed right now, but how relaxed can you be when it comes time to go lay a lap down here in Atlanta?
Man, the track temp is so hot right now. I'd imagine these things, this track's starting to age a little bit. You're starting to see the color start to go gray with the asphalt. And it's going to be a light switch, I believe, when you all of a sudden think, oh my God, this is like a race of old Atlanta. And I think with the track temp being the way it is, I think you might start to see a hint of that here this weekend. But I feel good with Jerry Kelly, the crew chief on this thing, getting the right package to race, to be decent in qualifying today, 1 lap speed, but to race well tomorrow night.
All right, that's Corey LaJoie, who's looking to mix it up tomorrow here in Atlanta.
Corey's had a couple of decent runs on this reconfigured Echo Park Speedway. Actually had a chance to win, got into it with Chase Elliott late in the race, and he came out on the short end of the stick. So could be a dark horse to make some things happen on Saturday night.
Yeah, pretty interesting. He's running for Rick Ware Racing this weekend in a second car, the 01 car. Rick Ware Racing in the news this week. TJ Pusher, who was once a part of Spire Motorsports, says, you know what, I think these charters are undervalued right now. I want to get back in the game. So he's made an agreement to purchase Rick Ware Racing, keep Cody Ware in the car, keep Rick Ware, and literally the entire team in place. But, that says a lot, at least his view of the health of the sport and the charter system.
And, of course, this has a little bit of a cascading effect because at one point Legacy Motor Club thought they had bought that charter from Rick Ware Racing.
They still think they bought that charter from Rick Ware Racing, and the courts will decide how that works out. The other Rick Ware charter is currently being campaigned by Ryan Preece over at RFK, and there's a whole mix-up, which is probably too much to talk about on a qualifying show, because when we come back, we're going to see cars on the track here with qualifying for the Quaker State 400 from Echo Park Speedway in Atlanta.
When it comes to maintaining your engine to run at peak performance, trust ZMAX Micro Lubricant. ZMAX soaks into metal, so it's easy to add to your oil or gas to disperse carbon buildup in your engine, fuel system, and transmission. Protect your vehicle's engine to the max with ZMAX. Check us out at zmax.com or visit us on Facebook and Twitter to find out more about our full line of products. Remember the name ZMAX for your car, big rig, small engines, firearms, and more. That's ZMAX Micro Lubricant.
Here's what you missed last week on Toyota Gazoo Racing. Bubba was totally as he around the pack, managing to across the finish line to claiming in victory lane. Now you're up to speed. You in? Follow the action at tgrna.com. Toyota, let's go places. NASCAR is a registered trademark of the National Association for Stock Car Auto Racing, LLC.
Pole qualifying set to get underway here at Echo Park Speedway. And the drivers tomorrow night in the Quaker State 400, they'll be racing for more than a trophy. They'll be racing for more than a potential playoffs berth. The race winner tomorrow night will receive a nearly new Echo Park 2024 Chevy Silverado and a trailer. And this is my favorite part, with an 85th anniversary Sturgis Motorcycle Rally limited edition Harley Davidson. That's the trophy tomorrow night, or at least part of the prize in Victory Lane here at Echo Park Speedway. This motorcycle is number one of only 26 that will be built and will go to the race winner courtesy of Echo Park Automotive and Sonic Power Sports. From Echo Park Speedway, this is PRN, the Performance Racing Network.
A NASCAR memory with Doug Rice and Kyle Petty.
To establish the Hall of Fame, first two people that get in, besides your dad, is Bill France Sr. and Bill Jr. Your time behind the wheel overlapped with Bill Jr., didn't
Yes,
it?
for sure. For sure. I was called to the truck many times while Bill Jr. was in there. But you know what? What I remember about Bill Jr. as much as anything was being a kid and him sitting and talking to my dad or talking to my granddad. And Bill Sr. would be in some of those conversations, but you'd sit down at the racetrack and they would talk about where the sport was and where the sport was going. Bill was never satisfied with where the sport was. And that is the one thing that I came to admire about him. At the time, I didn't. At the time, I didn't appreciate it as much. But, you know, I'll never forget we were doing some stuff, and I was driving for Felix, and I was called to the truck, and I was reminded gently by Bill France Jr. that this was his sport. And if I would like to participate in his sport, that I needed to kind of change my ways. And I changed my ways so that I could participate in his sport.
Welcome back to Echo Park Speedway in Atlanta, where the first car is about to roll in qualifying for the Quaker State 400. David Starr making a return to the Cup Series mark. He is going to be the first one out, followed by Connor Zilic last week. A big win at Pocono, an oval win for Connor Zilic, and Dale Earnhardt Jr. as his crew chief. Now 1 for 1 as a crew chief in the Xfinity Series.
Batting 1,000. That's not too bad at all. And this, of course, for Zilic, is first drafting track when it comes to Cup Series racing.
Yeah, it's going to be really fun to see exactly how this plays out and what goes on. And a lot of cars out there in this field. Connor Zilic, by the way, this weekend racing for Trackhouse. That is actually who he was contracted with. He runs at Junior Motorsports as a Trackhouse driver, just to sort of clarify that. But a great-looking Red Bull car. Actually, a lot of these cars really pop in the field, Mark. William Byron, a two-time winner here on this layout. He's got a very bright Exalta Chevrolet. You look at the Quaker State Chevrolet of Daniel Suarez. Of course, we saw that one go to Victory Lane last year in the springtime. So
you can't miss Austin Cindric. He's got Quaker State colors on the side of his Menards Ford. And then you go all the way back to Denny Hamlin, bright orange. He's flying the Hawaiian colors first time.
I love the King's Hawaiian rolls for sure. Let's go down to Andrew Curlin.
Tyler Reddick making his 200th career start this weekend at Echo Park Speedway. And by the way, you're growing out the mullet, which looks great. So how long are you going to grow that out for?
Only time will tell. But, yeah, it is pretty crazy. 200 career starts. Yeah, it feels just like yesterday's. Made my first start in the Cup Series at Daytona. So, yeah, we'll try and keep it going. Try to get 400, 500, 600. So we'll try and keep it rolling.
I love it. Last weekend, it was a tough weekend for 2311 as a group. So how do you rebound and get momentum back on your side?
Yeah, new week, new opportunity for us and our group. So, yeah, we'll just we'll see where Upper Deck Superman Toyota Camry settles in here in qualifying. Hopefully get a decent pit stall for the race Saturday night and just try and march our way forward early on.
That's Tyler Reddick. Qualifying, by the way, has started, Heather, so cars are on the racetrack and it's sounding good. Tyler just said he can hear it.
Yes, it has, and one driver that's getting suited up right now is Shane Van Gisbergen. So, Shane, we're here on this drafting-style racetrack. You haven't had too many of these races under your belt, but a little bit more experience. Where is your comfort level at with this style of drafting racing?
It's getting better and better, and this track, second time here, so it should be better as well. It's, yeah, qualifying's not the most exciting, but the racing here is epic. It's, yeah, it's full on, so looking forward to tomorrow.
We're looking forward to it, too. And now you also have an additional teammate, so you've got 4 cars at Trackhouse Racing. What is the plan to work together? Have you guys talked about that yet?
Not so much. We'll go talk about that after qualifying and, try tomorrow, work something out. But, yeah, definitely you need your teammates to get to the front here. But yeah, looking forward to it.
All right, well, Shane Van Gisbergen's getting ready to get in the car. Sense of urgency there from him, and maybe just a little bit of nerves as he gets closer and closer to laying down a lap.
He has the pole at Mexico City, but qualifying has been a little bit of a problem this year. He's averaged 27.6 as far as his starting position, so that is certainly something they're trying to improve upon, give him a better chance once the green flag falls.
Yeah, I want to go back at the end of the year and look at Shane Van Gisbergen, first half of the year numbers, second half of the year numbers. Mark, you and I were talking during the commercial break. Ovals is the part where he struggled. He is a rookie driver in the NASCAR Cup Series. First half of the season, he was finishing in the 30s. Second half of the first half of the regular season, now all of a sudden Shane Van Gisbergen is finishing in the low 20s to high teens. They were disappointed with an 18th place finish here recently. He's coming along. It's going to be kind of fun to see how much he can climb up.
Again, you're talking about a guy who 3 years ago had never even sat in one of these cars, had never been on an oval track before. So he has been given information from a fire hose. He's trying to gather all this thing while racing at the very top level of NASCAR. So he's definitely doing it the hard way, and he obviously has the talent. And it's obvious the backup plan they had, okay, he's learning the ovals. When we come to road course races, that will be or could be our ticket to the playoff. And, of course, that's what happened at Mexico City.
Yeah, so good luck to Shane Van Gisbergen, and we'll see how he continues to improve. Corey LaJoie is on the track right now. He is making his hot lap. David Starr went out first. He was 34 seconds, .113. Connor Zilic went out second. 31.5 seconds. David Starr well off the pace, but we'll get a sense as where Connor Zilic 31.5-second lap is with Corey LaJoie as he goes around, and his lap now goes to the top, a 31.356 seconds. 40 cars here, Mark. All of them will enter the Quaker State 400.
6 of those drivers have already captured pole positions here at Atlanta. Joey Logano has 2. Michael McDowell, of course, swept both pole positions last season. 1 pole apiece for Kyle Busch, Denny Hamlin, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., and our pole sitter back in February, Ryan Blaney.
Yes, and Ryan Blaney, again, he's got a very strong average here. B.J. McLeod is running the number 78. This is an unchartered team, but, again, he'll make the show as he makes his laps around. Let's go down to pit road and Andrew Curlin.
I'm here with someone who's going to be in the booth later for the NASCAR Xfinity Series, Ross Chastain. So give us your analysis. What can we expect here at Echo Park Speedway?
I don't really know. I mean, for our Wendy's Chevy, we don't really expect a lot out of qualifying here. For Trackhouse, we've not traditionally performed very well. Our teammate Connor, we brought 4 cars here already. Not the speed that we want at all. But that's fine. It doesn't matter. We'll race tomorrow just fine. I think if our balance is good, we'll drive forward. As hot as it is, handling is going to matter for our Wendy's Chevy. And if our car handles good, we'll keep our tires as cool as a Wendy's Frosty. So that'll be good.
I like that. You mentioned Connor. Zilic is a 4th car at Trackhouse this weekend. How important is that, having one extra friend out there on the racetrack?
Absolutely. I mean, I love it for Connor to see what his family's done to put him in this position, and then to race against Justin Marks. We all heard the story, but through Trans Am, beat Justin, and Justin hired him, and he's got him in a Cup car now at such a young age. I'm so pumped for Connor. He puts work in. I mean, we all do. Anybody that's getting into the top 3 National Series is doing work, but Connor's special, and his parents set him up really well, and now it's up to Chevrolet and Trackhouse to take him that next level and bringing him to Atlanta in the middle of the summer when he's going to go fight for an Xfinity Series championship. I didn't have it on my bingo card, but hey, Justin wanted to do it, and Red Bull car looks good.
I'll tell you one thing, Ross Chastain in the Wendy's car looks good, and I will tell you a Frosty will certainly melt out here on the racetrack, guys.
Thank you, Andrew Curlin. Riley Herbst has gone to the top of the board at 177.040 miles per hour, with Corey LaJoie currently 2nd, Connor Zilic 3rd, 4th, B.J. McLeod 5th. is going to be David Starr. And now Ty Dillon, the 6th car to go out, has gone to number 1 at 177.323 as he circles this 1.5-mile track in 31.265 seconds.
Ty Dillon in the bracket challenge, head-to-head with Denny Hamlin. Anything can happen tomorrow night in the Quaker State 400 at Echo Park Speedway. We'll see how everything plays out. It's going to be fun.
That is actually my upset pick.
Is it now?
Yes, it is, because Denny's had his issues at Atlanta, and so that's my upset special tomorrow night.
Denny Hamlin, I will call him the orchestrator of the bracket challenge. He simulated this in each of the last 2 seasons and really was a proponent of something like this with the top prize and all. It was William Byron winning it the first year, Tyler Reddick winning it the last year, but on his Dirty Mo Denny Detrimental show, he actually orchestrated this. I'll give him a lot of credit.
And then he said, I look at the races, speedway race, 2 road courses, and go like, oh, man, I'm not so sure I like my chances. So it'll be interesting how Denny gets through this. But he is the absolute number 1 seed going into the bracket challenge. And it's kind of apropos because you're absolutely right. He was the guy that kind of stirred the drink and got this thing rolling.
Yeah, for sure. Well, one guy going up against the guy with the best average finish here, best average finish is Ryan Blaney. The guy going against him in the bracket challenge is with Andrew Curlin.
Yeah, with Carson Hocevar, and you're going against Ryan Blaney in the bracket challenge. So how much are you looking at that when you get on the racetrack?
I mean, probably not till like the last lap if we're not winning. I'll just look and see where he's at. But, I mean, other than that, I mean, there's going to be so much chaos and everything. You know, this is a really good opportunity for, 90% of the field to try and win and get your way in the playoffs. So more so focus on that. That pays pretty damn good. So hopefully we do that. Maybe one stop better, and then the bracket challenge takes care of itself.
You came so close to winning this race in February. How motivated are you to win here today, or tomorrow night, that is, here in Atlanta?
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely motivated. This crew and team is for sure, but I mean, there's nothing like I would do different than what we really did in the spring, especially with the yellow coming out. I'm not sure if we win or lose, but you don't know if you win or lose either. So, we're just going to have the same intensity, I think, would be the best way to do it, and, just try and be as aggressive as we were then, and just try and keep up front, no matter where we are, and keep fueling it, and just be on the right end of it.
Heather, I'll tell you, Carson Hocevar not changing his approach this weekend.
All right, well, we'll see what Kyle Busch will do here in qualifying, but a congratulations is in order because you've got 3 wins in the Masters class for the summer shootout at Charlotte Motor Speedway. I know you just giggled at that. However, it looks like you've been having fun out there.
It has been. It's been fun, just trying to learn the ropes of those cars and different setup stuff and whatever in order to just kind of understand what Brexton's doing and what he's going through behind the wheel of a legend car again, So, it's been 20 years since I'd run those things full time, but we're having fun with the summer shootout. He's got 3 Bandolero wins. I've got my 3 legend car wins. He's been getting better with the legend car each and every week, so it's definitely been cool. But, maybe one of these days we need to get down to Atlanta for the Thursday Thunder, but it's so dang hot out here, and hopefully, we'll have plenty of speed with our Scenic Chevrolet here right now for qualifying and have even a better race tomorrow.
You had plenty of speed in February. In fact, you were the lone Chevy amongst Fords in the top 10. What have you and your team done with setup-wise to ensure that you make the final round again here today in qualifying?
I'm not worried about the final round. I don't care if I qualify 30th or 1st or anywhere in between, but you got to have grip and you got to have speed and you got to have comfort when it comes down to the end of the race. So those 3 things are really hard to put together in one, so you've got to give and take and trade off a little bit of another, but hopefully we have that speed that it takes and be up front.
Thanks. Good luck.
Got it.
So currently our top 5, Ty Dillon, Riley Herbst, Bubba Wallace just qualified 3rd. Then it's Corey LaJoie and Michael McDowell 5th. He ran out of racetrack in turn 4, got up against the fence a little bit, scrubbed off some speed. So I'm sure he's going to be disappointed by that.
Yeah, there's an AMR safety truck out there right now, just double-checking the safer barrier, making sure everything's okay. We'll come back with more qualifying. Up next, we have Ricky Stenhouse Jr. here from Echo Park Speedway.
From fueling NASCAR champions on the track for over 20 years to innovating 94 octane, the highest octane on the market. Performance is what Sunoco does. All Sunoco fuel at the pump meets the same top-tier standards as the fuel used in NASCAR. From the track to your tank, you can trust Sunoco to help your vehicle perform at its peak.
Hi, I'm PRN's Alexis Eric. Want to listen to PRN anywhere you go? By downloading the PRN mobile app, you can listen to live race broadcasts and have on-demand access to your favorite shows like Fast Talk, Pit Reporters, Garage Pass, and PRN's At the Track. Download today to make sure you don't miss any of the action. Get the latest racing information at your fingertips with the PRN mobile app, available on Apple App Store and Google Play. Find more information at goprn.com.
More qualifying for the Quaker State 400 right after this from Echo Park Speedway. This is PRN, the Performance Racing Network.
Hi, I'm Ryan Blaney, a third-generation race car driver. And we dedicate a lot of our time to going as fast as possible. But when my grandpa was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, it was a very unexpected bump in the road for us. It's important to notice if older family members are acting differently, experiencing problems with their memory, or having trouble with routine tasks. Early detection of Alzheimer's can give your family time to explore support services, make a plan for the future, and access available treatments. If you or your family are noticing changes, it could be Alzheimer's. Talk about seeing a doctor together.
Here's Christopher Bell.
My Toyota Camry TRD race car isn't cheap to build and prepare. I have a pit crew that maintains and fixes my equipment. I have a spotter high above the track watching my back, talking me through turns and potential dangers on the track. I physically train to handle the stress of driving. And I have software helping my crew chief and engineers make the right strategy calls. And with all this, I never take my eyes off the road, and neither should you. One distraction can change everything in one instant.
Welcome back to Echo Park Speedway. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. on the track. We originally had 2 rounds of qualifying scheduled. We had to start late due to some lightning nearby the racetrack, so it'll be single round today as we go down to Andrew Curlin.
Yeah, it seems to be a milestone weekend for a bunch of drivers, including Joey Logano. You're making your 450th career start this weekend. So how does it feel? How do you win on your 450th?
I'm way past 450. That's how many I've got with Team Penske, though, which is definitely something really special. The loyalty we've had together and the success we've had together does mean a lot for sure. And it's fun to have the Auto Trader Mustang back out here in Atlanta and see what we got for qualifying.
You led a lot of laps here in February, 83 to be exact, laps led. So how difficult is it to hold the lead with everyone trying to take the lead here?
Well, I mean, the runs are so big here because the leader can get far out in the corners, and then the runs, once everyone gets figured out, by the time you get to the start-finish line, the run starts building, and it comes at you so fast it's hard to defend it. So you kind of got to keep the field behind you in the places you want them.
That's Joey Logano. He's pretty good at these drafting tracks.
Thank you very much, Andrew. On the track right now is Zane Smith. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. went out and qualified 8th. Mark, I thought I could hear Stenhouse actually lift a little bit going into 3.
Well, right now he is only 9th quick out of the first 12 drivers, so obviously a little bit of a problem for Stenhouse. Todd Gilliland, however, has jumped up to the 2nd spot at 177.113. Everyone right now is chasing Ty Dillon, 177.323. Gilliland is 2nd. 3rd is Riley Herbst. Bubba Wallace 4th. 5th, Corey LaJoie, Michael McDowell 6th. Then you have Shane Van Gisbergen in 7th. 8th, Connor Zilic. Ricky Stenhouse Jr., as I mentioned, 9th. 10th is B.J. McLeod. 11th, Cody Ware. David Starr is 12th.
All right, so here comes out of turn number 4 right now. Noah Gregson got a yellow and blue Ford out there with Zepp as the sponsor on the race car. Let's see if he can do a little better than teammate Todd Gilliland. And for Noah Gregson, he does not. He goes to 6th quick, 176.696 miles per hour.
That paint scheme kind of reminds me of the old Mike Skinner scheme at RCR. Yeah, it looks like that blue and yellow.
I like that quite a bit. On the track right now, it is the number 41 Haas Automation car, and that would be one Cole Custer, who just took the green flag to make his hot lap out there. So as Cole Custer dips it down right along the white and yellow line, that's the bottom of the racetrack here on the 28 degrees of banking at Atlanta Motor Speedway. When they go out from pit road, they climb all the way to the top of the safer barrier at the top of the banking. They try and get as much momentum as they can getting up to speed with these cars restricted to 550 horsepower. They need all the racetrack they can to get up to speed. So how's Cole Custer looking out there, Mark?
He is coming to the line right now. He'll take the checkered flag. Cole Custer is going to be on top. Number 1, 177.949 miles per hour. 31.155 seconds around this 1.5-mile racetrack. And Cole Custer certainly looking to improve things in qualifying. He's been top 10 only once this season in the opening 17 races, and that is a lap right there that's certainly going to put him somewhere near the front. Not maybe necessarily top 10, but should be near the front.
So they're going to put a halt on qualifying right now, as we have had 13 cars go out there, 14 cars go out there. The reason being lightning in the area. Now, if we can paint the picture here at Atlanta Motor Speedway, I can tell you that looking out the window right now, it is a beautiful, hot summer day. But what we have this time of year, literally pop-up storms. They materialize out of nowhere. And, I road tripped it here, Mark, from Texas, and literally just, kind of fought and dodged this the whole way here. Just little storms pop up, and it might be a cell that could be 2-3 miles wide, and that's it. But when it pops up, and it comes down hard. And all it takes is one of those within 8 miles of here, and a lightning strike to put us on a hold. So that's where we sit right now. If no more lightning, we're going to resume at 6:14 Eastern time. So that is going to be about 30 minutes from now. So we'll keep it here, and we'll talk about the things happening here at Echo Park Speedway in Atlanta. But at a certain point, they're going to have to either decide, yes, we can continue, or no, we cannot, because 7 o'clock Eastern time, we go on the air for the Xfinity Series Focused Health 250.
Yeah, there's a little bit of stuff packed in here. We had the same kind of lightning situation pop up during Xfinity Series qualifying, so they had to cancel the final 10 rundown, which gave Sheldon Creed the pole position for the race after he ran the fastest lap in that opening round. And so it is, again, a very odd thing. We have blue skies and sunshine here at Atlanta Motor Speedway, but the clouds, some of them overhead, are just gigantic and certainly have a lot of stored energy in there as well.
Yeah, they do. Well, we are joined up here in the booth now by the general manager here at Echo Park Speedway in Atlanta, Brandon Hutchison, who has worked for many, many years at this racetrack. And, Brandon, I have to say, driving up earlier today, seeing the new look of what is now Echo Park Speedway, it is amazing. It's almost like you built a brand-new facility since we were here back in the spring.
Well, hey, guys, it's good to be with you. Actually, it's not good to be with you. With the lightning strike, we got a little bit of time to fill. But, listen, we have been excited for this weekend to get here for about 90 days. For about the first 60, we had to work under the cloak of darkness trying to get things switched for Echo Park Speedway. But place looks great. The old girl needed a paint job, so she got one. We were able to change all of the signage. And, listen, we work hard to make sure the fans get as much bang for their buck as they possibly can, and hopefully we're able to give it to them this weekend.
It is amazing to me how much green, Echo Park green, is around this racetrack on everything. Everything that needs some trim has the green. Unmistakably, it has certainly been a major makeover.
Listen, it's been very, very difficult trying to determine what needs to be green, what needs to be Park Gray, what needs to be Dorian Gray, and trying to find all of the Atlanta Motor Speedways to change them over to Echo Park Speedways. But I got to give a shout-out to Jill Frischman. Jill has been a rock star. She kept all of us straight, and the place looks great. We got a facelift. We've got a new name for the next 7 years, and hopefully in 7 years we'll be announcing another 7 years that we will be Echo Park Speedway. So hopefully we can get some racing in tonight for the Focused Health 250 Xfinity Series race. I'll tell you, this track looks to be ready, and we know what it provides once we put the cars out there.
All right, so give us the local knowledge, because we're ready to go out there and maybe put on a Legends car race. I don't think they'd want to put Mark and I in Cup cars. It's beautiful looking out the window. But, again, just these little things kind of pop up here and there. Is this just your typical Atlanta summer?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, with everything we do, we want to put our best foot forward for the fans, and their safety is paramount. So while it might be sunny here right now, there's a lightning strike within 8 miles. So when that happens, we go down for 30 minutes. And, again, it's about the fan safety and trying to do everything we can to keep them safe. So hopefully here in the next hour, we'll be able to start pre-race festivities and go racing tonight.
I just was talking to some fans recently, and they said, where would you go if you were going to pick out one race? And I said, Atlanta right now, in my Echo Park Speedway in Atlanta is – I'm going to get it right eventually.
$1 for the cuss jar.
Yeah, there you go. This is a can't-miss racetrack right now. I mean, honestly, the races since the reconfiguration, and we started, of course, with 2 races in 2022 – you don't find anything else like it on a 1.5-mile racetrack. Nowhere. And never before have we seen this on a 1.5-mile track.
We've been blessed. You know, Marcus Smith and Steve Swift were thinking about how we could change when we needed to repave. They decided to go with a 4-degree increase on the banking. It completely changed the dynamic of racing here at Echo Park Speedway. And it sounds terrible if I say it. I love for other people to say it, but we do have the most exciting racing in NASCAR right now, and I don't see that changing. So hopefully a lot of our listeners here today will come out and join us. The Quaker State 400 available at Walmart. Race weekend is here, and I can tell you the team here at Echo Park Speedway could not be more excited to be able to greet the fans.
I want to encourage people to come out early tomorrow for the Quaker State 400 because we talk about all the paint and everything you've done around here to convert this over to Echo Park Speedway. I saw a little circle of asphalt out in the fan zone that's getting repainted as well, except it's getting repainted with tire rubber and the burnout competition that's happening out there. There are some high horsepower cars out there in the fan zone.
I'm beginning to wonder why I signed that deal. They're very loud, and with this heat, it just has an opportunity to make me nervous. But the fans love it, and at the end of the day, that's what it's all about, right? We work for the fans. So whether it's K9 Stars, whether it's the Red Trouser Group, whether it's the Sea Lions or the free kids zone within the Echo Park fan zone, we try to make sure, again, that fans that choose to come to Echo Park Speedway get as much bang for their buck as they're going to get anywhere. So we know we're going to have 650 miles of fantastic racing. We want to make sure that when cars aren't on track, we've got entertainment going on somewhere on our campus.
There's nothing like the smell of burning rubber at a racetrack. And when I walked up today to come into the booth, I mean, there was smoke everywhere from that burnout competition. It was kind of fun to look at. And, again, if you're a race fan, you like the smell of burning rubber.
And that's what it's all about, right? I thought that we had put our first car on track when the burnout wars started earlier today. But no, you're right. It was the burning rubber in the fan zone. And there's so much activity out there. There's activity on the infield. I hope that people who are listening to us right now decide to come out and join us this weekend. So whether it's today, kids are absolutely free today. Kids are only $10 tomorrow. So it's going to be a big time. We've tried to stuff as much into the weekend as we possibly can, and we've been going since Wednesday.
Yeah, well, we appreciate you, Brandon. Thank you so much for the hospitality. I'm sure we'll talk to you again this weekend. But the place looks great. You and your staff do an amazing job taking care of the race fans, and can't wait to see how this weekend plays out and what a memorable set of races we're going to have.
Well, thank you so much for having me. I can't wait to see the fans. It's the favorite part of my race weekend is getting to talk to the fans, getting to hear their stories, and just thanking them for choosing to be here. So they work hard for their money. They choose where to spend it, and I'm very thankful that they choose to spend it with us. So come out to Echo Park Speedway this weekend. We're going to have a big time.
Yes, we will. Brandon Hutcherson, the general manager of Echo Park Speedway here in Atlanta. We're currently under a lightning hold for about the next 20 minutes, 22 minutes or so before we continue qualifying for the Quaker State 400 here at Echo Park Speedway. And right now, just to set the scene, there are cars still on the racetrack, Mark, with not a single soul around them because in a lightning hold, the teams cannot work on the cars. They're told to go back to the garage and get to someplace safe.
And again, at this point, we have stopped with 14 of 40 cars, so still 26 cars to take a lap. And then, of course, we have the Xfinity Series race, the Focused Health 250, coming up literally now right behind it.
Yeah. So lots of action here at Echo Park Speedway for sure. You're going to hear for some more drivers and a lot of other things as we just literally wait out the lightning. And I can't express enough how beautiful it is right now here at the track. We have not seen a single drop of rain here at Echo Park Speedway. We just had lightning nearby. We can see a little bit off into the distance, but these are quick showers that they disappear as quickly as they pop up, drop a little bit of rain. There's reason why we have so many tall green pine trees and green grass here in Atlanta, Georgia. That's because we also get a little precipitation in throughout the summer.
Again, it is just an odd thing to be under a weather delay when you have blue skies and sunshine, but that is kind of the curveball that we have been thrown here at Echo Park Speedway here in qualifying for the Cup Series. If you just tuned in, we're 14 cars deep. Cole Custer is currently our provisional pole sitter at 177.949. Ty Dillon is second, then Todd Gilliland third, Riley Herbst fourth, fifth, Bubba Wallace sixth, Corey LaJoie.
Let's go down to Andrew Curlin.
Yeah, William Byron is currently waiting out this weather hold here in the media center. Nice AC. But you have 4 drafting track wins, which is the most among active drivers in the next-gen car, which includes 2 Daytona 500 wins. So what makes you so good at this style of racing?
I don't know, man. I feel like I feel like we're good every week. So it's just I'd like to win every week. But, I feel like the drafting tracks has been the places that, we've been able to capitalize at times. And really that's strung throughout all the tracks. I think short tracks are probably our biggest weakness. So, I think it's just been probably some good fortune, good decision-making towards the end and being in the right place at the right time.
Let's talk about your season as a whole. You said you feel like you're good every single week, and NASCAR is a big momentum sport. So how do you stay on top when momentum is rolling for you?
It is a big thing. I think momentum is oftentimes like the word that people use for confidence. I think confidence is just kind of what happens when you're running well. You get confident, you make good decisions, and those things seem to snowball. So for us, we've had kind of an up and down couple weeks results-wise. Michigan, we easily could have won that race. Pocono, we probably could have been in contention to win. And just a few things here and there. So we just got to clean that stuff up. It's kind of all across the board, whether it's me or just our team in general. So I think we should have a good shot at the win here tomorrow, and just excited to get going.
All right, well, confidence is key for William Byron. He feels good about capturing that checkered flag tomorrow night.
William Byron currently number 1 in the points by 54 over Kyle Larson, 78 over Denny Hamlin. And out of 17 races this year, 14 times those races have ended with William Byron on top of the points. He has dropped all the way down to second place 3 times and was able to come back and take the lead. He's had the lead the last 4 or 5 races.
Yeah, he's been pretty comfortable with it as well. And it's interesting. We look at some drivers out there. We say take a Chris Buescher. We take a Kyle Busch. We take some of these other drivers and say, man, when are they going to get their first win? William Byron has a win. And now we keep asking, well, when are they going to win again?
Absolutely. And he has been one of the best qualifiers all season long. He leads the drivers with 11 top 10 starts. Next closest, Denny Hamlin, Kyle Larson, Logano, and Buescher with 9.
Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is PRN, the Performance Racing Network. Welcome back to Echo Park Speedway alongside Mark Garrow. My name is Brad Gilley. Joining us in the pits today, Andrew Curlin and Heather DeBow. 14 cars have qualified. We are currently under a lightning hold here with about 18 minutes left to go in this hold before we continue to send cars back out there, unless that should reset. 7 o'clock Eastern Time. We're back on the air for the Focustel 250 NASCAR Xfinity Series race. Looking for a wild one here tonight. They actually got through 1 round of qualifying and had their starting lineup set. Should this not continue, Mark, even though Cole Custer, Ty Dillon, Todd Gilliland, Riley Herbst, the 4 fastest so far, without all the cars going out there and qualifying, we revert to the rule book. Denny Hamlin, the top car in the metric, he would be joined on the front row by last week's winner, Chase Briscoe.
Wouldn't that be ironic? So Ty Dillon gets his speed scrapped, Hamlin goes to the top, and they're going against each other in the in-season tournament. So swap back to front, front to back. That'd be interesting.
Hey, we got a long way to go in tomorrow's race.
We do.
A lot of things can happen for sure. And, we certainly hope we get qualifying finish, because I would love to see the lineup set by the fastest car here on Friday, starting on the pole. I think that would be a great way to have this play out.
And I think all the drivers would like that as well. They certainly want to take their shot at it. And still to go, we've got Zane Smith, Austin Dillon will be next in line, Tyler Reddick, then Justin Haley, Ross Chastain, A.J. Allmendinger, and then you start to get down into some of the other heavy hitters, Kyle Busch, William Byron, Daniel Suarez, who's been a winner here, Carson Hocevar, could have won back in February. That yellow flag comes out when it did. A lot of people think he had the momentum and might have been able to blow by Christopher Bell to get that victory. Let's go back down to Heather DeBow.
And back here in the media center with John Hunter Nemechek, who just finished up some media scrums. Have you ever done this before under a lightning delay with the sun out, clouds, nothing in the sky, and then here you are in the media center doing media?
Not under these circumstances. This is definitely different for me. I've done it when it's been raining with the sun out, but not ever a lightning hold with the sun out. So pretty interesting. I don't know. I was hoping to qualify today. Wanted to see what speed that we brought in. I know it's not over yet, but who knows what's going to happen here. I know the guys have been working really hard on our number 42 Pi Barker Toyota Camry XSE this week, and qualified better than we had in the past here earlier this spring, and wanted to qualify even better and work on our speed. So I don't know if we're going to see where we stack up today, but if it does get lightninged out or whatever, I think we have a really good starting spot for tomorrow night.
Well, we're on standby to find out, but you and your Legacy Motor Club team, not just you in the 42, but Eric Jones in the 43, you guys have really stepped up your performance lately. 2 top 10s for you in a row. What do you think is clicking for you and your team, and what's made the difference lately?
I mean, it's a testament to all the men and women at Legacy Motor Club and the cars that we're able to bring to the racetrack that they're able to work on and build. But I think from another standpoint, I think Travis Mack and I are gelling really well right now. We're able to communicate really well. You don't learn much from the easy lessons and having good cars. You learn a lot from the hard lessons that you have to go through. And we had a string of like 3 weeks there that weren't really good for us. We had one DNF, another where I hit the fence, and another where we just ran in the back all day and didn't even really have a chance. But going back and figuring out why that was, what I was communicating, what he was listening to and making adjustments based off what I was saying, and where we really need our car balance and things of that sort. So it's a lot. It's a lot of small things that add up to one big thing. So it's hard to pinpoint, but I feel like everyone is gelling right now at Legacy Motor Club. Everyone is excited about the speed that we've been able to bring to the racetrack, and the culture is changing, that is for sure.
Well, thank you so much for your time, and fingers crossed that you get to go out there and run a lap here soon.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
All right, thank you very much, Heather DeBow. We appreciate that. Under a lightning hold for at least the next 13 minutes. We'll come back to Echo Park Speedway right after this.
Progressive knows not all rides are smooth. Meet Sarah. She loves her motorcycle. What she doesn't love is when it suddenly rains. As she sits underneath a bridge waiting for it to stop, she grows quite fond of the graffiti on the overpass. She really likes the one with John Hart's Claire and wonders if they're still together. Not every ride is smooth, but Progressive has your back. Get an online quote in as little as 3 minutes and see if you can save with America's #1 motorcycle insurer. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in D.C.
The speed, the drama, the only NASCAR race in California. The Toyota Save Mart 350 NASCAR weekend rolls into Sonoma Raceway July 11th through 13th. 3 days of high-speed thrills, edge-of-your-seat action, and family fun in the heart of wine country. Bring the whole family. Kids tickets start at just $10. Don't miss NASCAR's biggest stars battling for victory. Get your tickets now at SonomaRaceway.com. This is NASCAR. This is California. This is Sonoma.
From Echo Park Speedway, this is PRN, the Performance Racing Network.
Get your NASCAR fix with PRN's Garage Pass.
Hard to just turn it around in 1 week, but I wouldn't be shocked if we did.
I don't think the results have been what we have hoped for or expected, but I think the potential in the cars and the speed has been pretty good.
It's a big deal already, so that's a big positive for us. So I think now it's just about working together and getting better.
I think the Penske cars are still elite when it comes to plate racing.
Hi, I'm Mark Darrow, tracking the latest racing news every weekday.
We all play a role in keeping our community safe.
Every day, we move in and out of each other's busy lives.
It's easy to take for granted all the little moments that make up our everyday.
Some are good, others not so much.
But that's life.
It's when something doesn't seem quite right
that it's time to pay attention.
Because only you know
what's not supposed to be in your everyday.
So protect your everyday.
If you see something suspicious, say something to local authorities.
Welcome back to Echo Park Speedway here in Atlanta, where we're on hold for qualifying for the Quaker State 400 in the NASCAR Cup Series. And, boy, once these cars get back on the track, Mark, it's going to go fast.
They're going to flat fly. NASCAR will put probably a couple of cars out there at a time, certainly pick up the pace to get it in before we have to, of course, go to the pre-race ceremonies for the Focused Health 250 Xfinity Series race. A moment ago, I gave the top 6 currently: Custer, Ty Dillon, Gilliland, Herbst, Bubba Wallace, Corey LaJoie. Then 7th is Noah Gragson, Michael McDowell 8th. McDowell scrubbed the wall coming out of turn number 4. The man who won both pole positions here last season is currently 8th, and he's going to be dropping for sure. Van Gisbergen was 9th. 10th was Connor Zilic. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. 11th. B.J. McLeod 12th. Cody Ware 13th. And currently last in 14th, David Starr.
Yeah, waiting to qualify are the cars, not the drivers yet, of Zane Smith. We also have Austin Dillon and Tyler Reddick, Justin Haley, and Ross Chastain. Let's go back down to the infield media center with Andrew Curlin.
Austin Cindric is here waiting out the lightning delay. He said, I look like I'm dressed up like Halloween. I don't know what that's supposed to mean, but we're waiting to go qualify. How do you feel here at Echo Park Speedway?
God, I'm just hoping to do something today, man. I've been waiting around just to do one lap, and here we are. Finally get to the moment. I got my fire suit on, and then I do nothing. So other than sweat. So a lot of sweating here today, a lot of hot weather, but yeah, definitely want to see what our car's capable of, and hopefully we get to go out there.
You have a win at Talladega, drafting track, so you're in the playoffs. How do you evaluate risk versus reward when it comes to tomorrow night, knowing you're already locked in?
Well, I see a lot of opportunity, right? You know, these have been tracks that we've certainly had some speed, and you know, certainly expect to have some strengths tomorrow night. So being able to maximize on the opportunity to get points and win a race. I mean, I think that's really what it boils down to. So excited about the challenge. It's going to be super hot. I think handling is going to definitely matter. So, and to have the entitlement sponsor on my hood, even better. Try and get Quake State in victory lane.
That's right. Some added motivation for Austin Cindric tomorrow night, guys.
Austin Cindric qualified outside pole back in February, and so he certainly is a guy that wants to have a chance to attack the racetrack. And again, as he's talked about, it's kind of like a penned-up tiger at this point. They've been waiting all day just to do a lap, right? And it'll take them somewhere around, 31 seconds, and then they're done for the day. So it's a kind of a weird situation for the Cup guys.
Yeah, it really is. All right, joining us in the booth right now might be one of the smartest people here at Echo Park Speedway, and that's because a little bit later on he'll be up in the roof calling the action in turns 3 and 4 when we get the Focused Health 250 underway. But Nick Yeoman was smart enough to say, well, I don't need to be on the roof right now. I'll come up here in the air conditioning with all of you.
Have you been outside here the last couple hours? It's plenty warm outside. So, yes, you can call that being smart if you'd like. But, no, it's good to be with you guys this weekend. Brett, this is my first visit to this newly rebranded Echo Park Speedway in Atlanta. I've never been to this racetrack, so I don't have anything to base it off of. I'm impressed. Great-looking racetrack, and obviously we've seen some unbelievable racing here since they reconfigured it a few years ago. So, yeah, I'm excited. I'm hoping we can get things started here. I'm watching the same radar as you guys are. Kind of a bizarre situation right now with these pop-up systems, but the place looks great, and I think we're all pretty excited for tonight.
So when you go to a new racetrack, what do you look for?
Well, there's a lot of things you look for. I mean, the fresh coat of paint of this place is pretty impressive. The facilities obviously stand out. But for me, it's the past races and the kind of shows that this place has put on with the 2 and 3 wide racing and the drafting package here. So the place looks fantastic, and yeah, no, I just kind of soak it all in and enjoy the getting a taste of the hometown flavor here in Atlanta.
Yeah, in addition to the Performance Racing Network, Nick spends a lot of his time with the Indianapolis Motor Speedway Radio Network. I know you guys have been pretty busy. Obviously, the month of May was busy with the Indianapolis 500, but more recently, places like Road America and Gateway and so on and so forth. What's going on that side?
Yeah, it's been a bizarre season in IndyCar. We've had 9 races and just 2 race winners, with Alex Palou, who's just absolutely lit the world on fire, the Spaniard winning his first Indianapolis 500 in May and picking up 5 other victories, and then an American and Kyle Kirkwood, who's won 3 other races. So that's kind of unheard of. Usually I look at the parity IndyCar, it kind of mirrors NASCAR. We're used to seeing a lot of different race winners, but Team Penske has yet to go to victory lane. A lot of heavy hitters. Colton Herta hasn't won a race yet, so it's been a little bizarre so far this season, but Alex Palou is something else.
On my DVR, I DVR'd a couple of shows, the best Indy 500s. And it always is a spectacle, always. I don't think I've ever looked at an Indy 500 that disappointed me. But the speeds lately, the last few years, creeping up into the 240s. I mean, how do you even see a car going by that fast?
It is. We joked when we do the Indianapolis 500 broadcast, I'm in turn number 1. You get about 8 seconds to get out of thought and then pass it off to the next guy because they are hauling the mail and flying around that place. So, it was quite the spectacle. Of course, Brad and I co-hosted a show at the beginning of the day, the greatest day in motorsports, kind of previewing the 2 races with, of course, a crown jewel for NASCAR as well with the Coca-Cola 600. So it was a great month of May and certainly something we always look forward to.
Well, I know it's going to be an awesome weekend here at Echo Park Speedway, Nick. We look forward to hearing your calls both tonight and tomorrow night. So enjoy the air conditioning. Let us know when they serve food, if you would.
I will, certainly. We'll take a look at it.
All right, let's go back down to the infield and Heather DeBow.
And still here in the media center under this lightning hold, we have Eric Jones now, who jumped from 30th to 18th in points in the last 7 races. So how do you and your team continue to build that momentum and work your way up through the points?
Yeah, I mean, just keep bringing good cars. We've had just a stretch of good races, not only good cars, but executing well. So everybody's just doing a good job, and feel like right now I've been on my game too, which always helps, when you can show up and feel like you're doing your job. So just been having fun with it. When you come to the racetrack and feel like you're going to have a good car, it makes your week go a little bit better and a little bit different perspective when you show up. So, yeah, just happy with it right now. We got good tracks coming up, I feel like, here. A little unique, but more places where we can get a lot of points, which is good for us.
We talked to your teammate just a few moments ago, John Hunter Nemechek, and he was saying that him and his crew chief, Travis Max, are really gelling right now. What would you say you and Ben Beshore, where your relationship's at and how you feel about your progress so far?
Yeah, I mean, I started working with Ben there the last, 4 races of last season, so just getting to know him better, and I feel like probably about the time where we've really started this run is probably where we kind of clicked on the same page as far as just communication and Ben knowing what I was asking for with the car and how much and when and why, and me knowing just how Ben kind of operates a little bit better and what he needs from me. So, yeah, I think in the last month and a half that's really started to click. And Ben's a quiet guy, so it's hard to get to know him, and I'm a quiet guy, so it took some time, but I feel like we're really on the same page right now, and really the whole team has a good bond going and gelling pretty well, which makes life fun.
Sounds like 2 peas in a pod there, but hopefully we get back to qualifying and you get to make a lap. If not, tomorrow's race is a great opportunity with it being somewhat of a wild card for you to punch yourself into the playoffs with a win. What's the risk versus reward, and how hard are you going to push?
Yeah, I mean, obviously stage points are huge for us right now, so we're going to have to run pretty hard all day just to hope to grab up a couple of stage points in each of them. And then at the end, whatever happens, happens. Hopefully you can get enough stage points in the first 2 that it feels okay either way, wrecking or running well. So, with our point situation, we're 1 bad race away from having to just win, and we're a couple good races away from being a few points out. So we're in a tough spot in some ways, but also in a spot where we, can kind of just go for it and see how it's going to play out for us.
All right, well, that's Eric Jones, who's looking to go for it and continue to climb those point standings, guys.
Eric Jones currently 18th, minus 62 points to the cut line, so he can still find a way mathematically to get there as long as nobody moves the cut line and we get another new winner or 2. We're back to Echo Park Speedway in just a moment. Hopefully, we'll continue qualifying for the Quaker State 400.
We work hard to keep our cars looking great on the outside, but engine components need our attention too. That's where you can trust Z-Max Micro Lubricant to disperse carbon buildup in your engine and fuel system to keep your car or truck running at its peak. By soaking into the metal of your engine, Z-Max Micro Lubricant improves performance, extends engine life, and reduces emissions. Trust the many customers who've said, "Thanks for saving my engine." Find out more at zmax.com or follow us on Facebook and Twitter.
Hi, this is PRN's Brett McMillan. You know, you don't spend your life just sitting around, so what you need is PRN's mobile app. By downloading the mobile app, you can listen to our live race broadcast from anywhere. Make sure you don't miss a second of the action from the track. If you download it today, you get station listings and on-demand access to your favorite studio shows like Fast Talk, Pit Reporters, or Garage Pass. Get all the latest racing information at your fingertips with the PRN mobile app. Download today. Available at the Apple App Store and on Google Play.
Drivers have been called back to their cars. Qualifying should resume when we come back from Echo Park Speedway. This is PRN, the Performance Racing Network.
Anytime you get somebody at the front of the pack who's not used to running up there and who's not been there, the established names are going to scream. They're going to cry. They're going to whine. Oh, there's somebody else coming up here to get my trophy and get my money. It's Carson Hocevar. What's he doing up here? He had just as much right to get in there and force the issue, and if not for the caution, he's a race winner.
Hey, this is Doug Rice of the Performance Racing Network. That's Fast Talk right here on PRN.
Local radio brings people together like never before.
It's a beautiful hometown weekend out there. We've got
your local stations keep you informed and involved with music, talk shows, and real-time news updates you can trust. We are live and local. We are America's broadcasters, connecting you to what matters most. Text radio to 52886 and tell Congress to support your local radio stations.
Message and data rates may apply. You may receive up to 4 messages a month, and you may text STOP to STOP.
This message furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters.
Drivers have reported to the cars. A number of them are buckling in, of course, led by Zane Smith, Austin Dillon. They're the next two drivers to go out. And more importantly, the NASCAR paddle man, if you will. He's got a paddle that says go and stop. They make sure that the cars start in the exact same place. So they move the cars down pit road. There's a white line there. When they get in position, kind of like a drag car, then they give them the signal to go green. That way, it's the same distance. Everybody has to start at the same spot from a complete stop and then out onto the racetrack, so it's completely fair because, again, an extra 50 feet or a little bit of a rolling start might be all you need to get the car up to a little bit quicker speed.
Honestly, one of the most important factors in qualifying here at Echo Park Speedway is your get-up-to-speed lap because you're limited on horsepower with the Super Speedway engine package that's on these. So, to your point, Mark, if everyone's not leaving from the same spot, then it could give an advantage to someone who doesn't have it. Again,
it's a lot of times, believe it or not, of course, these teams are all data-driven, just like everything else in life these days. And that takeoff where they're from the complete stop, getting up straight onto the racetrack where you want to take off, but you can't be spinning your tires either. You really have to hit the fine line, and then you had to hit your shift points just right. And, of course, as you talked about, on the warm-up lap, if you will, they get up against the wall. They try to take the longest distance around the racetrack to get up to speed. And once they take the green flag, they try to hug the line on the bottom of the racetrack for the shortest distance around the racetrack.
All right, 5 seconds to go before Zane Smith is allowed to roll, and he'll roll up to the paddle guy. He'll stop, and then he will go and make his qualifying lap. 26 cars left to qualify here for the Quaker State 400 at Echo Park Speedway, and this is going to go fast. Here goes Zane Smith now rolling off of pit road to get up to speed. He's got some teammates who are pretty fast. Todd Gilliland is third right now. Noah Gregson is seventh. Again, only 14 cars have qualified, Mark, but we've also seen a lot of speed at speedways when it comes to the Blue Oval.
And again, we've gotten a little bit later in the afternoon. We've got shade now over in turns 1 and 2. Will that make a difference? Well, we're about to find out. And again, at this point, 14 of 40 drivers have made their qualifying attempt. And again, we'll have just one round instead of getting the final 10 and running that final round for the pole, just one round for the Quaker State 400.
Zane Smith has the Aaron's Lucky Dog riding with him on that car here this weekend. He drops it all the way down to the white and yellow line right there at the transition of the 28 degrees of baking and the apron of the racetrack. Coming off of turn number 2, he is going to keep that car down tight on the white and yellow line, trying to take the shortest way around he can.
And now he, again, still on the line through 3 at turn 4. He'll finally release, come up against the wall. He gets a really tight line out of turn number 4. This could be a good lap for Zane Smith, who's already won a pole position this season. He is going to be second quick at 177.920. And the difference between Cole Custer's Zane Smith, 5 thousandths of a second.
Pretty intense. Austin Dillon on the track right now. You almost can't see the car except for the Bass Pro Shops logo on the hood. The rest of it's camouflage, and it does a pretty good job of that on this asphalt.
It really does. It just kind of sinks in there, and he'll try to sneak up on us here just a bit. He is on his hot lap, and they are already rolling Tyler Reddick. And, again, this is a little bit quicker. NASCAR trying to get this qualifying session in before we have to go to pre-race for the Focused Health 250 Xfinity Series race with Sheldon Creed on the pole. Here's Dillon down to the line.
Austin Dillon will cross the start-finish line, and he will now go to third quick now behind Cole Custer and Zane Smith. 31.242, the fastest of 31.155. And, Mark, I love this rapid-fire qualifying. Here comes Tyler Reddick.
Tyler Reddick, and this is a paint scheme you can't miss. A Superman upper deck, and Reddick will certainly stand out. It not only will do that in the daylight, but, man, when you shine the lights on it tomorrow night, it'll really jump out from the pack. This
is a really good-looking race car. It's got a lot of blue on it. It's got a lot of yellow on it, the red number 45 numbers. And Tyler Reddick in the bracket challenge is right now head-to-head with Kyle Larson. I actually have Reddick advancing on my bracket, Mark, but you never know. Anything can happen. But here comes that Toyota off turn 4.
He's down to the stripe again, trying to unseat Cole Custer from the top spot. Reddick is going to be 7th quick at 176.949. You know, a lot of times, anytime you're up against Kyle Larson, you think Larson's a favorite, no matter who he's out there against, right? But you look at his record at Echo Park Speedway, certainly under the reconfiguration, and it gets a little bit iffy. So Kyle Larson just wants to finish, and then after that, he'll kind of take what he gets.
Yeah, he's had some tough weeks, really, ever since doing the double of the Indianapolis 500 and the Coca-Cola 600. Mexico City, through no fault of his own, the rains came. They get a restart. Kyle Busch goes barreling into turn 1. Bowling into turn 1, I think, is how a lot of people talked about that. And Kyle Larson was one of the just innocent pins in that.
Yeah, Kyle was, 5-6 cars ahead of Kyle Busch? How many times does a wreck catch you from behind from that far back? But that was the way Kyle Larson went down in Mexico City.
Justin Haley goes 7th quick behind Riley Herbst. Out on the track right now, it is Ross Chastain. He will join us for the Focus Health 250 broadcast coming up. He takes the green flag in that very brilliantly colored Wendy's paint scheme.
I can't miss that. Big Wendy on the hood. Again, Ross Chastain hugging this yellow and white line that marks the apron of the racetrack and the out-of-bounds line as well here at Echo Park Speedway.
Yeah, that's a great point. A lot of unique things about this racetrack. We'll talk about it more when we get to our broadcast for the Focus Health 250 and tomorrow's Quaker State 400. But in the meantime, Ross Chastain will take his Chevrolet across the start-finish line. And for the driver of the number 1, 13th quick. Par for the course when it comes to qualifying for this Trackhouse number 1 team.
Well, the good thing is he won't be last. He's already proven he can go from last to first in winning the Coca-Cola 600, so he might have him just where he wants him right now.
And that I like that. All right, A.J. Allmendinger's on the track right now. Let's go down to pit road with Andrew Curlin.
Yeah, Brad Keselowski is climbing in his Consumer Cellular Ford. I got a chance to talk to his spotter, TJ Majors, and spotters are going to be so key tomorrow night under the high banks here at Echo Park Speedway. TJ said Daytona and Talladega are slow motion compared to Atlanta, and the gaps you have to fill are much quicker. So it's on the spotters as much as it is the drivers to stay on top of the high-speed racing that comes here in Atlanta, guys.
I think one of the things that's really changed in this sport is the spotting. You know, back in the day, I spotted for Chuck Bound on the Busch Series, also Mike McLaughlin, Rick Mast, and it wasn't this kind of constant chatter that we have now, where you're really informing the driver each and every move, who's behind him, who's in front, 3 wide, 2 wide, and different things like that. So when I listen to the chatter now of the spotters, I think, boy, that's a lot different than it used to be.
TJ Majors is so good. He has an ability to paint a 360-degree view for the driver for which he's spotting, which is now Brad Keselowski. Let's go down to Heather DeBow.
And Alex Bowman getting ready to hop in his number 48 Ally Chevrolet. Now, you've been able to watch some of these guys go out on track first. What's jumped out at you from any of the qualifying laps that you've seen?
Not a ton. Obviously, McDowell's lap kind of stood out, but yeah, hopefully our car sticks, drives well. Blake and all the guys worked really hard on this Ally Camaro, so let's see what we've got.
All right, good luck to you. I'm going to go ahead and let him jump in the car because these guys at the front of the grid getting ready to qualify, they're all getting window nets up, belts tight, and I want to get out of his way so he can focus when he goes to wide open here shortly.
Thank you very much, Heather. Alex Bowman now on the bubble when it comes to playoffs contention. And there are a lot of weeks where he's had really good runs that didn't pan out, whether he's hit the wall or someone's hit him. Michigan was a really hard hit. He almost didn't go to Mexico City. Thankfully, he was well enough to do that because it turned out to be a fourth-place finish for him. But Alex Bowman's got some work to do if he's going to make the postseason.
His teammate William Byron has just qualified 6th at 177.068. Everybody continuing to chase Cole Custer. He's got the top speed at 177.949 as we go down to Andrew Curlin.
Here with the hometown guy, Chase Elliott, who's got a very special Napa paint scheme this weekend. How special is it? It's designed by Raylan Mills, 11-year-old pediatric patient. So how special is that to run that paint scheme this weekend?
Yeah, it's been a real honor for me. This is the 9th year we've done Design to Drive, and Children's Healthcare has been an amazing partner to work with and to work for, and they do amazing work at all their hospitals, and just all their people have been extremely impressive. Meeting some of the patients and some of the different families that we've had out over the years has been an honor from my perspective. So excited to have Raylan here tomorrow. I think she did a great job on the car. A huge thanks to Napa for giving up this race like they've been doing every year for the past number of years. That's such a big deal in corporate America to give up something that they're paying for, right, to not have their name on the hood. So I appreciate that a lot, and it's obviously all for a very good cause, and hopefully it goes fast.
Great cause indeed. Chase Elliott racing for more than himself this weekend, Heather.
And his teammate Kyle Larson, one of the last drivers to make his way out to the grid after the lightning hold was lifted. So, Kyle, during that time, what were you doing during the lightning hold? Were you focusing on what you can do here in qualifying or something else?
Just sitting on the couch in the trailer. Not a whole lot goes into qualifying here. Just hit your shifts right. Really is about it. So, hopefully our car's got speed. I think William's 6 right now, so we should probably end up somewhere around where he is.
Now, as far as the race goes, because a lot more will go into the race tomorrow, are you wanting your car right now to be fast only and wide open and on the edge, or do you want to be more comfortable than that?
I would love to have fast and be on the pole, and then also have handling and all that for tomorrow. But, I don't know. I think our car, at least in the race here at Atlanta, I feel like it's handled okay, and I think that's allowed us to be towards the front of the field. So I know we'll probably have that. It's just, see where we shake out in qualifying.
Good luck to you. Andrew?
With Ryan Blaney, and there's cloud cover right now. Blaney said we'll see. Hopefully the clouds stay, but you won the pole here in February, so how do you lay down another fast lap to make it back-to-back poles here?
Don't lift. Everyone's not lifting. But we'll see what kind of speed our car has. They did a great job in the spring of bringing me a fast car that not only could qualify well, I thought it raced very well. Also, a little bit different conditions. It's hot. It's hot this week. Be hot tomorrow. And it's one of those things where the spring race here is so different. It was freezing cold in the spring, so it's always kind of an interesting thing of, okay, how are you going to set your car up, knowing the track loss grip, it's going to be hotter. Yeah, it's at night, but still it's going to be track temp up. So, just fast cars, I'm sure we'll have the same. At least I hope so, and see what kind of lap we can put down to set us up for tomorrow.
We'll wait and see. And by the time, by the way, at the end of that answer, the sun came back out, so the cloud did not stay, guys.
Brad Keselowski has just run 0.02 of a second quicker than Cole Custer. He has taken over the provisional pole position. Other drivers who just made their qualifying runs, Carson Hocevar is 17th. Ty Gibbs currently at number 6.
Nice lap for Brad Keselowski. Eric Jones taking the checkered flag right now with his Toyota Camry XSE. He's going to go to 15th quick on the chart right now, and so far we have had 27 of the 40 drivers take time, and they're running through them quickly here as we have qualifying resumed at Echo Park Speedway.
Joey Logano, the next to take the green flag and head off on his qualifying run. Still to go, Josh Berry, Christopher Bell, Alex Bowman, John Hunter Nemechek, Austin Cindric, Ryan Preece, his teammate Chris Buescher, Kyle Larson, Chase Elliott, Blaney, Briscoe, and Hamlin as we go back down to Heather DeBow.
And Chase Briscoe catching up with Ryan Blaney now. We heard the thoughts from the driver of the 12, but the 19 is the winner from Pocono. And as they finish up their thoughts here, we heard in the media center earlier today, they were asking you about the bracket challenge, and they asked if your son had one, and now he does. So for those of you that don't know about this, go to his Twitter account. He posted a picture of his son's bracket. What do you think about his picks?
I was honestly surprised he had me winning it all, especially going up against Noah the first round. Out of all the picks he made, he definitely took the longest on me or Noah. He's a diehard Noah fan, so yeah, honestly, there was a couple picks. I was surprised Christopher Bell didn't make it past the first round because he normally talks about Christopher Bell a lot too. So everything else kind of didn't surprise me, but yeah, I hope he's right. That would be nice to win $1 million. So yeah, it was fun to kind of go through that with him. He actually put a lot of thought into it. I didn't feel like a lot of it was crazy off the walls. So it was fun to do that with him, and obviously a great idea by whoever asked me that. So yeah, hopefully he's right.
Now, you got the win at Pocono, and you have said before that if I don't win in the 19 car, then I shouldn't be out here. So now that that pressure is relieved, what does your focus go for you and your team now moving on through the rest of the season?
Yeah, just trying to be better at executing. That's something that we, honestly, up until Pocono, haven't really done. Just put a full race together. So, yeah, we just need to continue to get better. You know, we're still relatively new and young race team. So, for us to be able to have the results that we've had all year long, even outside of winning, I feel like we've had good speed. We just haven't been able to put it all together. So, we're going to have to execute come playoff time. And just because I won once doesn't mean it's, smooth sailing now. I need to continue to win, especially my teammates have won 3-piece already. So, that's what we're trying to do.
Thanks, Chase.
Yeah, thank you.
So, as qualifying continues, we have new names at the top of the board. Joey Logano and Josh Berry have run the exact same time, 30.979, exactly down to the thousandth of a second. 178.960 is the speed.
Wow, that is incredible. 2 cars out of the same shop, the exact same time. By the way, Christopher Bell, who Chase Briscoe's son has going out in the first round, he went out 19th to qualify. Alex Bowman's on the track right now as his car heads down the back straightaway, and he'll take that Ally purple number 48 and see what kind of lap he can make out of this. Right now, the Blue Oval's on top. They've got the top 5 spots, Mark, and that's really no surprise when it comes to qualifying on a speedway.
Last year, both races, 7 out of 10, top 10, were Fords. February, 9 out of 10. Kyle Busch, the lone interloper in that group.
Well, Alex Bowman might have something to say about that because he goes 6 quick ahead of the Chevys of Austin and Ty Dillon and a Toyota of Ty Gibbs. So Alex Bowman, regardless, is going to have a pretty decent qualifying spot, even though we're wrapping it up here with the last few cars. And John Hunter Nemechek on the track right now with his Toyota.
Again, he's going to be followed by Cindric, Preece, Buescher, Larson, Elliott, Blaney, Briscoe, Hamlin. And, man, they're firing these cars off one after the other. Again, we have the Focused Health 250 Xfinity Series race literally right after the end of this qualifying session.
Austin Cindric has already rolled out onto the track, but as he does that, another car now coming to the checkered flag, and this would be John Hunter Nemechek as we'll go down to Andrew Curlin.
Yeah, Denny Hamlin is the last one to roll off here, and he's taking a look at some data. Let me see if I can grab Denny. Denny, what's the balance of skill and luck when it comes to speedway racing like it is here at Echo Park?
I mean, I'm biased. It's more luck now, but my opinion, it's more luck now than what it's been. But it's tight confines. You really can't escape at this track. When there is a wreck, It's not as wide as the other super speedways, so it's really a lot harder to miss it. So, really you got to just try to stay up front as the best you can, have a great handling car, but yeah, it's a lot of times it's out of our control here.
All right, well, Denny Hamlin, he's the last one to roll off here in qualifying, guys.
Penske, 1, 2, and now 3. Cindric has moved up to the 3rd spot, 178.626 his speed, as he took 31.037 seconds to circle Echo Park Speedway.
Ryan Preece on the track right now. The big thing for Ryan Preece, he talks every week about the metric being where you finish and in what group that you'll qualify. We didn't have them separated into groups here. It's Speedway qualifying, but they always want to be in that second group. There's Group 1, there's Group 2. If you're in Group 2, you have all the advantages of seeing Group 1 practice, hear what they're talking about with the racetrack, maybe make some final adjustments, and you qualify late where the cars seem to have speed. And, Mark, here comes Ryan Preece across the start-finish line. Let's see what speed he has.
Ryan Preece is going to be 4th fastest at 178.092. So currently the top 7 are all Fords. Bowman, Dillon, and Ty Dillon, 8, 9, and 10, the top Chevys. The top Toyota right now, Ty Gibbs, who's currently 11th.
If you're on social media, Instagram, X, whatever it might be, and if you follow RFK, they have been wildly active this week with a lot of fun with this sponsor. That would be Chris Buescher. Cinnamon Toast Crunch is on his car with the Kroger Ford. Chris Buescher making his way down into turn number 3. They've had a lot of fun with this paint scheme. We talked to him earlier. He had the bucket hat on, and, well, now he's trying to take this thing to the pole.
Yeah, that was a very colorful bucket hat that Chris Buescher had on. Here he is down to the line. Buescher is going to be 10th quickest at this point as he knocks Ty Dillon out of the top 10. And still to go, Kyle Larson, Chase Elliott, Ryan Blaney, Chase Briscoe, Denny Hamlin. Need to point out right now that there's cloud cover basically all around this racetrack. No sun beating down on it right now. We'll have to see how that may come into play.
That could add a little bit of speed to these race cars. Kyle Larson looking to make something big happen here as he takes his car now off of turn number 2 and down the back straightaway. And as he does that, his teammate Chase Elliott will leave pit road and get on his warm-up lap. But here comes Kyle Larson now trying to hug that yellow and white line right there at the bottom of the racetrack as he comes off at turn number 4.
Looks like he had a pretty good line. Let's see how he will be able to go here in the lineup. Larson is going to be 9th fastest at 177.482. And you talk about the skill level of these drivers. I look at it not only as a physical thing, but just the mental part of this thing. First lap on the racetrack, you're trying to run a wide open qualifying lap, then you buckle it up, and then you go back to racing tomorrow with exactly 1 lap at speed on the racetrack. It's amazing.
Yeah, you can have all the simulator in the world, but this track is not going to race the same here in late June as it did when we were here in early spring. Chase Elliott's on the track right now. He is a former winner here in the next-gen era on this current configuration. He's got that Napa number 9 coming off of turn number 4. And, Mark, let's see what he can do with his fast lap.
He flashes across the stripe and is going to be 13th quickest. And now we have just 2 to go, Chase Briscoe and Denny Hamlin. Again, Joey Logano, Josh Berry have run the exact same time down to the 1,000th of a second. As now going across the stripe is Ryan Blaney, our pole sitter from earlier this year. And again, at this point, NASCAR has Logano listed at number 1, Berry at number 2.
And Ryan Blaney, of course, another one of those cars. You got Logano, Berry, Cindric. 3 cars out of the Team Penske shop in Mooresville, North Carolina. Here's the 4th one as Ryan Blaney's making his way around this racetrack. He's won here at Atlanta before. That was under the old configuration. Can he get another pole here today?
Can he break the tie? Answer is no. He'll wedge right in the middle of it all. The top 4, Logano, Berry, Blaney now 3rd, Cindric 4th.
All out of the Team Penske shop. What's left are a couple of Toyotas. That would be Chase Briscoe, last week's winner at Pocono Raceway. We know he can qualify on the pole. He did it for the Daytona 500, then had a run of 3 consecutive pole starting spots, and the first one that finally broke it for him was Mexico City. But Chase Briscoe is going to take his Bass Pro Shops Toyota Camry XSE all the way down on that yellow and white line. He'll hug it there off the back straightaway, drifts up a little bit in turns 3 and 4, but Mark, it feels like he's got in the gas pretty hard now coming across the front straightaway. Here comes Chase Briscoe across the checkered flag.
Briscoe already has 4 pole positions this season. It will not be number 5, but he is the highest qualified Toyota. He is currently in the 10th position. Again, Logano, Berry, Blaney, Cindric, Preece, top 5 all in Fords.
There will only be 8 Fords in the top 10 of the starting, and they are the top 8 right now. Can Denny Hamlin break them up? Bright orange car, King's Hawaiian, the sponsor for that number 11, and Denny Hamlin with a couple of victories, a handful of victories, I should say, 3 of them so far this year. A 3-time dad now, the birth of their son, Jamison Drew Hamlin, right before the Mexico City race weekend, and Denny had a very fast car last week at Pocono. Came up 1 spot short to his teammate. How close can he get to the green flag and the front of the field for tomorrow's race?
Hamlin finishes his qualifying lap, and he is going to be way down in 33rd position. So, again, Joey Logano and Josh Berry have run the exact same speed. NASCAR has listed Logano currently at number 1. And, by the way, doing some quick math, all 4, top 4 Penske cars, the separation from first to fourth, 56 thousandths of a second. You think they prepared them the same way?
Wow.
I think so.
That is incredible. Well, we have our pit reporters down there. You're going to hear from our top qualifier and the pole winner for the Echo Park here at Echo Park Speedway for the Quaker State 400. Joey Logano is the pole winner, tying him in speed and time. Josh Berry, he'll start on the outside pole. Ryan Blaney will start 3rd. 4th will be Austin Cindric. 5th, Ryan Preece. Brad Keselowski will start 6th. Cole Custer will start 7th. 8th will be Zane Smith. Alex Bowman 9th. And 10th, Chase Briscoe.
Kyle Larson 11th, 12th Austin Dillon, Chris Buescher 13th, 14th Ty Dillon, 15th is going to be Chase Elliott, Ty Gibbs 16th, 17th Todd Gilliland, William Byron 18th, 19th John Hunter Nemechek, Riley Herbst in 20th.
21st will be A.J. Allmendinger, Justin Haley, 22nd, Tyler Reddick, 23rd. Bubba Wallace will start 23rd. Bubba Wallace will start 24th, rather. 25th is Corey LaJoie. Eric Jones, 26th. 27th, Noah Gragson. Christopher Bell, 28th. Kyle Busch will start 29th. Carson Hocevar, 30th.
Then in 31st, it'll be Daniel Suarez, Michael McDowell, 32nd, Denny Hamlin, 33rd, 34th is Ross Chastain, Shane Van Gisbergen, 35th, 36th, Connor Zilisch, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., 37th, B.J. McLeod, 38th, 39th, Cody Ware, David Starr in 40th.
Well, we had to wait a while, but at least we finally got a qualifying sorted. The same pole time for Joey Logano and Josh Berry. They line up on the front row here in Atlanta for the race tomorrow night. Next up here, Josh Turner and Matthew Owens will take you through the Xfinity race in around about 20 minutes' time. We'll see you then. Take care. Good night.